Now I have defeated 4 of 8 mavericks, so it is time to go and defeat, once again, the next in order of weaknesses, Boomer Gwanger. And some sort of bug. Yeah, it's really slim and slender kind of maverick in design. You'd assume that it would be a really fast one, and it kind of is, but not in the sense you would expect. And once again, the music in this game is very good. Well, in Mega Man games they usually the music has been good, but in this one it's especially notably good. It's got some sort of almost, you could say, rock and roll feel to it. But the theming of Boomer Gwanger's stage is, you could say, very vague and bizarre. It doesn't feel to be any kind of even plausibly semi-real, futuristic, real location that you could expect anything to actually real happen. It's basically just a platforming stage. It has all the platforming stage elements, of course, but it doesn't feel like an actual real location, which I say would be that video game stages don't need to be realistic. They don't need to be about real locations. They don't need to be real. But it would still feel that they would not have to be completely too abstract or unknowable about what they are and what their purpose is. As in, theoretically, in reality, even though the medium in this game in two-dimensional platform shooter would of course demand you to make it much abstract, make it more abstract, feel more abstract location, but that's a bit controller issue. But this is, you could say, basic platforming, about as basic as it could be. You got walls coming up, moving platforms, ladders. You gotta climb, enemies trying to shoot you, and hard over there, which you can get with a very tricky wall jumps, which I'm not gonna try because, well, there's a you need Boomer Gwanger's weapon to do it. Yeah, weapons do have some useful function, not just that you can cause damage with them. At least, well, some of them have useful function. Boomer Gwanger's weapon is one of those. Well, you could say it might be the only weapon with actual useful function in this game. Everything else is, well, they're just weapons. And of course, more basic platforming things to do. And reach the top of the tower, where I will use the homing torpedo to fight against. Oh yeah, he moves with that. He's got a teleporting ability. Which of course means that and his weapon is the boomerang weapon. But the fact that you can use homing attack against somebody whose attack is mobility, basic ability is mobility, well, they kind of, it would either be that you would use some mobility attack against somebody who has homing attack, or opposite. This time it was the opposite. Boomer Gwanger goes down. And in this stage there would be only one upgrade, which was already past the heart. Oh yeah, Boomerang Cutter. Yep, one very useful weapon in this game. Perhaps the most useful one. But of course, so what would what would be boomerang cutting thing work with? Well, chameleons use tongues, so let's just cut the tongue off. And of course, Sting Chameleon. Yep, that's his most scary attack, the Iron Tongue. And it's some sort of robot forest. How in hell would there be a robotic forest? I can understand robotic animals. I can understand even but I can't understand robotic plant forest. I can. Oh yeah, they added some little animation details, like you could say the lumberjack robot laughing at you once he hits you. And here is a completely new thing. Previously defeated mavericks effect stage. In this case, once I have defeated Launch Octopus, there is water here, which of course, not like that. That's not how you do it. Somehow the controls feel much less responsive. Or they don't feel as swift or accurate as in original platform. I don't know why. Maybe it's my rustiness, maybe it's something else. I don't know. But time to go and try to grab a heart upgrade, which I did. And you could not get this without Launch Octopus's stage beaten, so. And another jump back. And let's just grab the other upgrade of this stage, which takes a bit more effort. Yeah, rocks are falling from the sky. And a big red robot which jumps around, and it has a red weak spot on its head. It's a pest, mostly because it takes a lot of damage to defeat. But you can just, and it has this kind of clipper that it can flip you with it's a telegraph about as clear as day. But once you get it, it gets damaged. He starts to smoke. I don't know. Do any of these Robot Master weapons or Maverick weapons cause any more damage to him? Because, well, in X series they really managed to usually emphasize how powerful X is. That his basic abilities that his basic form is so much more powerful than all the Maverick weapons can make him. But another part. Oh yeah, the damage reduction gear, which never earlier in any Megaman game had not appeared as a regular upgrade. Now I have the body upgrade. I take less damage, meaning I can now tank damage much better. And of course, the fact that I just defeated that mid-boss, there is no big rocks falling from the sky either in this section. So there's a bit of interactivity in these stages, which is quite nice. So yeah, progressing to just a regular enemies, little basic platforming. Nothing really, you could say, groundbreaking. Although game looks nice. being 16-bit era, being well, it wasn't 16-bit era had already started quite well, because well, if I remember right, well, it was already at midway. Although, as much as I can say, console generations don't switch, you could say, with clearness. There remains, well, especially nowadays, but even then there was that, even when the Super Nintendo was out, there was still development to the 8-bit Nintendo and Sega's equivalent platforms, and Sega no longer does any. Went out of console markets a couple of generations ago, at least in this one, but in 16-bit era Sega was strong. They had mascot, they had their own catchy mascot and all that, which is actually quite, I'd say that mascot is perhaps, I'd say, the second most known mascot, at least in video gaming, and generally quite well known mascot in general sense. Not perhaps the most likable or wholesome mascot, but still, yeah, you can stomp around with a robot. And let's go see. And of course, Capcom itself has had plenty of mascots to different divisions. And if I remember right, classic Megaman has been the mascot, but not X or Zero. Yeah, but that's a nice 16-bit era of fading out. Yeah, Sting Chameleon. And by catching him into this loop, you're gonna get a fight against him so much faster and easier, because you can just knock him off there wherever he is. But let's just be nice and give him a chance to do something. Yeah, he can walk around, he can hide himself, then he walks around. But I just cut him off. Yeah, I was sporty. I wanted to let him see what he's about to do. Chameleon Sting. Yep, that's a quite necessary ability. And of course, being a upgrade, I can also save instead of just transferring to passport. So there's 2 more Mavericks left, and it's time to switch to the next episode where I will face them. See ya then. See ya.